Let's get gardening.
What is going on, everybody? Jesse here. I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about starting seeds. Now, this is something that most people probably only think of during the springtime, but if you like to do any sort of like late summer into fall gardening, it's something you need to start thinking about now. Now, it is the middle of June right now, and that means there's still plenty of time to garden. So if you think that you need to stop gardening just because the big box stores stopped carrying seeds and seed starts, well, you're wrong. Look around me. Dead wrong. Now let's go through what I've got over here and talk a little bit about it. Okay. Now to the right of me, I have a few seed starts that I started about a month ago, and I actually start to place them into the garden whenever I start to have space. We're going to start harvesting broccoli and cabbages here before the end of the day. So some of these are going to go in today. And it's just, wherever an opportunity presents itself, you start planting. I have summer squashes. I already have plenty in the garden, but they're also, fully matured. They are starting to produce fruit. So those ones aren't going to last indefinitely. You want to make sure that you have a continuous supply of young plants to replace the old ones, because disease will happen. That powdery mildew, it's going to get to some of your stuff. That's how it works. But if you continuously have more plants on hand, you can simply replace them when needed. So I've got summer squash. I've got some fall squash that haven't popped out yet. Bottle gourds, because it's just fun to have a little variety in the garden. They hollow out, you can make decorations out of them. The girls love them. Kids enjoy playing with them, so it's something to have on hand. Are they producing calories for us? No, they're producing enjoyment, which is just as good. What else do I have on this one? Cantaloupe. Now I have a couple vining cantaloupe and watermelon out in the garden already, but who knows if an animal might get to them. So it's good to have a few seed starts on hand. Now these ones are just starting to pop out. So if all else fails and none of my plants do poorly, well, guess what? I'm just gonna plant those out somewhere so I can have an extra boon crop of cantaloupe. It makes sense, especially when you start your seeds from scratch. If you're buying your seed and you're doing it the way I'm doing it right now, it's dirt cheap. Seeds don't cost much in compared to the plant starts. You're looking at like, depending on what company you go through, it might be $1.50 or it might be $5 for maybe a 4 cell of plants. Well, $4.50 or $5 worth of seeds is a hell of a lot of seeds, so you can stretch those a lot farther. What else do I have over here? More cucumbers, because I love cucumbers. I have over 30 cucumber plants in the garden right now, and I am continuously planting more because I want my pickles. I want my slicing cucumbers for salads. I like to eat them just with a little bit of garlic and salt and call it a day. My oldest daughter loves it just that way too. It's an easy thing to continue. And another thing, you don't have to purchase those burpee trays. I have a few scattered here out, but usually, like if I buy flowers, like I'll keep their little containers. I bought these for sale at Tractor Supply for $4.50, and if you're gonna spend any money on containers, oh my God, these things are awesome. They have little silicone bottoms, and everything just pops out perfectly. I mean, look at that. If you have any experience with cell trays, that's amazing. But let's get back to it. I've got, like I said, the cucumbers, more bottle gourds, a few more zucchini, pumpkins. What do I got here? I've got Jardale blue pumpkins, which are my favorite eating pumpkin. They're gorgeous on the outside, but they're sweet and savory on the inside, and they make a great stewing pumpkin. Add some sugar and you got a pie pumpkin. They're great. I've got Blue Hubbard, which is also a nice saving pumpkin. It'll do for your pumpkin pies in a pinch, pumpkin soups, things like that need a puree. Perfect. What do I got? Huckleberry, garden huckleberry. Now I have yet to thin these out, but I really want to plant some of these into the food forest. I've never had any experience with huckleberries. I know they're in the same family as tomatoes, but they're supposed to be slightly poisonous until the fruit ripens completely. Now, obviously, I will need to thin these out a little bit, but they're getting to the planting size. And as you can see, red solo cups have multiple uses. Lovage. Lovage is a cousin to celery. It's supposed to have a more potent celery flavor. Gonna add that to the food forest as well. Never had any experience with this one either, but I like to try new things. And seeds, they're an easy way to start new things. Up here, I have celery, celeriac, and ground cherries. Now, I've grown celery in the past. I've never grown celeriac. It's a cousin of celery, and instead of growing it for the stalks, you're growing it for the bulbs. Now, they seem to have started very, very well, so I'm going to need to thin those out a lot. The ground cherries are like a sweet tomatillo, and those are going into the food forest as well. I'm just trying to add a few things that that I think I might like, and if they do well, then I'm going to continue to save the seeds, scatter them throughout the food forest, and hopefully I get a decent haul of them next year. What else do I have over on the other side? Flowers. So I have a boatload of flowers. Who doesn't like flowers? I've got sunflowers, zinnias, a few odds and ends, but I just like to scatter them throughout. Now, I know my sunflowers for this year are like a scarlet variety, so, you know, nice pop of red. What else do I have? Bachelor buttons, blue bachelor buttons, because I thought those would be really pretty out in the garden as well. Peperoncini peppers. Well, if there was ever a failure, my peperoncini peppers don't seem to be making it this year, so that might be one thing that I might have to go to a store for. That kind of sucks. Tomatillos are starting to pop. I got to these late. The season was late anyway. Normally I have the garden open and set up and planted in March. I didn't even get it done until early May. We just had too many frosts. It killed off so many of my starts, but as you can see around me, I always have more starts going, so it wasn't as much of a setback as it might have been if I hadn't been already doing this. Let's see here. More Jardel blue pumpkins. You'll see a theme here. I'm trying to get some of my stuff started for my fall harvest. So we're looking at like winter squashes, things like that. They do well. This is basically when you're supposed to be starting them. I'll start some of my fall cabbages here in about a week. Same with my broccolis, my leeks. It's good to follow the seasons. And it may be hot now, but when these things are thriving, it won't be any longer. I live in Iowa Zone 5B, so I really have to think ahead and kind of keep on track, keep a plan going. Otherwise, everything falls apart. What else we got? I believe more cucumbers. I believe the ones on my left side were bush cucumbers, and the ones on my right were trellising cucumbers. Mostly because I have a couple different locations. I have a little trellis tunnel where I grow my trellising ones, and I have a flat area for my bush, which, like I said, just kind of thinking ahead. I've got more flowers down here, and I just found my bucket of seed corn from last year. I just thought it was cool. My popping corn and some of my sweet corn that I didn't get to. You'll always find extra seeds, especially if you start seeds like I do. But I just wanted to get out here and really just talk about making sure that you keep on with the season. If you're on like a gardening budget like I am, it's the only way to really get a good garden going while saving money. Going to the stores and buying the starts, I will do from here on, from whenever something fails. Like, if I could find some peperoncini peppers, I'd go out and buy them now, just because obviously those aren't going well. But for the most part, I mean, look around me. They seem to be thriving. And this is my third set of seed starts for the year. And I will probably have one more full set before we're done. Like I said, I need to start my broccolis and my brassicas, things like that. I just want to make sure that you guys keep going out, keep gardening, plant what you can, save money where you can, because this world is a crazy place, and just go out and have fun. I plan on taking my daughters out to do a broccoli harvest this afternoon, and we're gonna have some fun with it. This is Jesse. Happy gardening.